Champagne Pappy. Absolutely love that one. Taking us to 14 past 8. We are here now in the hour we call the exclusive hour. The extra exclusive hour, Greg.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we get to talk to the who's who in the world of sports or in the space of sports. We call them the needle movers.
The Jabroni Slayers.
The Jabroni Slayers, the Trailblazers,
Yeah.
Destiny Shapers, History Makers.
Can't you see we are in uniform?
And we are in uniform because
yes.
this one is doing exactly that. Trailblazing, shaping destiny of people.
And of course, making sure that the conversations
Yes.
are positive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a man who has spent quite a number of years scouting for the next top tier talent.
I understand.
Yes.
He's going to face the outgoing Premier League
Oh, yeah.
champions.
I can't say with authority on that one.
You're just 90 days old, yeah? You get it, yeah?
Yeah.
You're 90 days.
Old as champ.
Thank you.
So he's going to be telling us exactly about that. He has apparently spent 4 years as an academy scout for Wolverhampton Wanderers. He has also been an academy coach for Coventry City. Yes. Coventry City, we all know they just got promoted back to the Premier League after 25 years.
I remember there's one man who, when I was still actively doing whatever I did,
yes,
I used to look at Super Frankie and Steven Gerrard. Yeah, they were super.
Exactly, they were brilliant, man. And,
Yeah. So
and
Frankie, one became a brilliant manager.
Yeah.
And the other one became a brilliant pundit.
Miles apart.
Miles apart. You see, that tells you that football is wide, yeah?
It is.
Yeah.
And you can serve in different capacities
In
as
different
well.
capacities and always
Yeah.
make the ends meet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now this man is here in Africa in the what he's calling True Talents of Africa. He has having an academy or a scouting academy that is happening in Tigoni. It's called the TTA campus.
Tigoroni.
In Tigoni.
Oh, yes.
Nairobi. Going down. We're talking about none other than Dan Elliott. Welcome to SportyFM, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to have you here. Speak to the mic, please.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me. I really do. I'm looking forward to the conversation. Just
awesome, man.
Go easy off me, boys. Go easy off me.
We'll try our best. We're never harsh on our guests. We're always taking it easy.
I've seen highlights before. That's
We'll just be maybe a bit harsh when you come to Coventry versus
Yeah,
Arsenal.
and Liverpool.
And Liverpool, because
yes.
we'll definitely get to that. Tell us about your journey in scouting from Wolverhampton to coaching the academy at Coventry City and now to the TTA campus in Tigoni. How has that been like for you?
I've always been a football enthusiast. Always enjoyed the game like we all do across the world.
Yeah.
At 16, a family member offered me to come and coach his son's team. I got through my FA Level 1 within 2 weeks, and then someone dropped out of a course in my FA Level 2. So I went through the badges. Then I went to America coaching. So I've worked for Real Madrid Foundation, Liverpool, Everton, and then Major League Soccer camps in America.
Yeah.
Following that, came back home. I wanted to make a living in the game, and created academies very similar to what we've built, or what Kimi and his team have built at True Talents of Africa, where basically we combine education and football in one location.
Yes.
And they be able to develop their education and football together. So they're in a full-time footballer program as well as full-time education.
Yeah.
So that is where I came on board with Kimi because of my previous experiences. So I've been through my badges. I've got to an A licence. A little bit disheartened with the game in England. Everyone, I think Tuchel touched upon it after the World Cup. We have 50 million experts who are sat on their armchairs at home with an opinion.
Yeah,
And
all of them acting like coaches.
absolutely. And if I went
Acting like?
Coaches.
I like that.
they're couch coaches.
Yes.
And if, for example, if I went to the local hospital and there was a surgeon there, I wouldn't go into his surgery and I'd tell him how to do the operation because I know nothing about it.
True that.
So in the UK, there is a little bit of an element of everyone's an expert, and it gets frustrating. So Kenya was my escape. Using my expertise, using my knowledge, using my previous work experience, I set up businesses with Gordon Strachan, who was former Scotland international manager, and an online retailer called ProDirect, and we had academies. Met with Kimi probably December last year. He showed me his dream and how the facility was coming along, and came out in February and March. Had a great time, had an 8-week period, looked at the talent, and then have been here since July 14th, where we've basically provided an elite camp.
Yeah.
So the kids who are on their school break right now, we've provided a 6-week elite camp with Coach Ken Impesa. He's a bit of a local legend around Kenya as well, an outstanding coach with such infectious enthusiasm. And we have had these boys, and it's been an amazing experience. My coaching, I believe, is the best it's ever been now, purely because of how receptive these young boys are.
Yeah.
First of all, their base level of talent is there, and just how they're sponges. They want to learn. There's no attitude. There's no swagger. It's just they are here to
absorb as much
to
as
learn.
possible.
I love it, and that's refreshing because that is slightly different to back home.
Okay.
Anyone with a slight bit of talent carries a bit of arrogance and a swagger, and they think
Yeah.
they know it all. These boys are prepared to work and work so hard. We've had them they're in their 5th week now. We've played 14 games, and every single game has been against adult opposition. So last Saturday we played against the Kuta Collective.
Kuta Collections. Elias Makori? Yes.
They had 3 Kenyan internationals
Yes.
playing. And we've made sure that they have we don't expect to go and win these games, but we are testing them.
Yeah.
So we had youngest player was 14, our oldest was 19. We lost 4-0 to the Collective last week.
Okay.
But we are now getting them talking about our players, and they're seeing what we can do in a short space of time. What we've done with some of these boys is incredible. And we're finishing our course next week. We've got 3-4 days on Ngong Road. There's an East African tournament. We're entering 2 squads into that, and that'll be our finale.
Okay.
And then back in the school holidays in November, December, doing it all again. So
Yeah.
anyone interested on the elite camps, we'd love to see you, and you can experience what true talents have to offer. Really.
Absolutely. I mean, you've been here since, you said, what? Is it March or?
So I had 8 weeks in February and March, and I'm in my 5th week of 6 weeks in this period, July and August.
Yeah. I mean, you've scouted numerous times in the UK. You've done that now in Kenya.
Yeah.
What have you seen as the differences between the two, pools of talent, and what do we have as Kenya that can propel us moving forward?
If I look at the younger age groups, the under 11 age groups, I would say that the Kenyan child is on a par, if not better, than some of the kids we have in English academies now. Because if you look at the genetics of the average Kenyan, for me, I see pace, power, cardio capability, and an engine.
Okay.
So to speak.
Yeah.
But then if you look at let me just check my notes here. 2016.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it wrong. Akakoro?
Akakoro. The one for Stanley Okumbi?
Under 11s.
Yes. Yeah.
Under 11s beat Barcelona in an international tournament.
Yeah.
Liverpool are in it, Atletico Madrid are in it, Juventus are in it. That was in 2015.
Yes.
The same academy, 2016, went and won that tournament again. They beat Atletico Madrid on penalties. So they are beating the world's best at under 11.
Yes.
They returned with the same squad in under 17s, and with being disrespectful, they were probably demolished, is the word.
Yeah.
And that is the prime example of what's happening. So the base level of genetics and talent
Is there?
probably greater than Europe, but then it's that intense practice. I don't know if you're familiar with Malcolm Gladwell, his book Outliers. He looks into the 10,000 hours rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
10,000 hours rule is something that, if you want to be elite at something, it's done with pianists, violinists, Olympic divers, and coaches and organisations base their work around 10,000 hours of purposeful practice.
Purposeful practice.
So, for example, I drove my car for 20 years. I've had my driving licence 20 years, and I get in my car and I just drive. And I drove 10,000 hours. So why am I not a Formula One driver? The reason is I don't get in my car to improve my driving every time. And that is where we're at. At under 11, I think Kenya are there amongst the best in the world.
Yeah.
Under 11.
Yeah, at that younger age group, under 9s to under 11s, and it gets to under 17s, and that is where Barcelona's and all the academies in Europe have really drilled into the players, and they've had more opportunity to be coached.
Yeah.
So basically, them 10,000 hours need to involve purposeful practice.
So you
which
talk
is generally coach-led.
You're talking about, let's say, the younger age group, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is so perfect with the Kenyan setup.
I'd say so, yeah.
So
comparable to anybody in the world.
What makes you feel that between the 11th grade or the 11th year and the 17th year?
I'm not even being disrespectful to the Kenyan person. They're academic driven, and
It's academic driven,
without a doubt.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think the Kenyan parent recognises football as a realistic career. It's just a dream, like we've got on the back of our jumpers. So I think it's just a dream. So what we're doing at True Talents now is we can offer 12 to 16-year-old the IGCSE pathway.
Yeah.
We've had a very positive meeting today with a huge company back in England who have over 100 academies and have partnerships with kit labs.
Yeah.
So we are potentially going to, we are offering, they offer an A-level route, but we're going to offer this BTEC Level 3 international route, which will allow them to continue their education, appease the parents,
Yes.
but then be in a full-time intensive residential football camp. So we've got 34 living on site right now. Once the whole ground and training ground is fulfilled, we will be able to house up to 200 students, and I think it's 80 to 100 residential, and then we have a bus service that brings people in from Westlands.
Yeah.
So we're excited for the future at True Talents because it is what Kenya needs, but it's just about educating the parent that football, regardless even if you make it professionally,
Yeah.
we look at the jobs in the industry, there could be media,
Yeah.
Yes.
it could be social media, it could be analytics,
Yes.
it could be physiotherapy, strength and conditioning, coaching.
Yeah.
Football is providing a living for many people around the world, not just playing.
On the pitch, yeah.
On the pitch.
And to work in a job that you actually love.
There's
doesn't-
nothing
you-
better than
you-
that.
You don't work a day in your life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't work.
And that brings me to the question, like, there's always a way, like the European setup, looking at La Liga and Premier League, whereby these players are tapped from a young age, and then they're taken through the age groups, and then as much as they're learning more about football and professional football, they're also given that basic education that helps them. Do you feel that's the case that, or something that we're missing as a country?
I do think that, and I think that stems potentially, that is probably led by the National Federation of the country. The English FA will support the academies, they will give funding to the academies.
Okay.
Same in La Liga, same in the German
Syria, yeah.
Bundesliga. So there is support from the national governing bodies. I think the Kenyan Federation are actually quite fortunate, because if you look at the ladies now, the under-17s who just qualified for the World Cup,
Correct.
that group of players have been developed by grassroots coaches
Yes.
and handed on a plate to the federation, who can now take glory in, and it's brilliant that they've got to the World Cup.
Yeah.
But is it because of the work of the federation, or is it the work that's done on the grass at grassroots level that's created these players?
Yeah.
We've had a boy yesterday go to under-15 trials.
Yes.
Young William, fantastic young prospect, but we have 6 or 7 of him.
Yeah.
And then we've got a young girl, I won't name her, but she's in the under-15 setup and is going this week. She's in the final 30 and she needs to get into the last 20 to be involved in the national squad.
Yeah.
So it's good that they've got the national squads at a younger age group.
Yeah.
But I do believe, rather than ploughing the money in at the top of the federation, put it in at grassroots level and you will be richer. Whatever money you put in at the bottom,
Yeah.
if we develop appropriately, which
Yeah.
the coaches are outstanding in this country, by the way, because it's not about what you know. We can't, with football and young coaches in Europe and in England, they're full of enthusiasm, but they think they can reinvent the wheel. But football's existed for 200 years.
Yeah, you can't reinvent
Every
it.
session we've all done has been done before.
Yeah.
What makes a difference is connection, character, and that makes the coach.
Yeah.
And I've seen coaches in this country very knowledgeable, but there is connection and there's love for them players.
Yeah.
And that separates you apart. So for me, the federation invest in the grassroots level, and rather than having players that get to Kenyan Premier League, they get to the English Premier League. They get to World Cups. And that is how things could change in the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's very true what he's saying, Greg, because you've seen, like you mentioned, the under-11s or the 11s one, they go to Europe.
Yes.
They smash Barcelona.
But when they come back,
Atletico.
Yeah.
We move to that level, we go to the under-17s.
Oof.
Now they are not killing it in the global level, but continentally they are doing it. We are seeing the under-17s going to the World Cup here. They are going under-20s for the men. Sorry,
Yeah.
under-20s for the boys. They are going to Africa Cup of Nations.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
For the boys, for the seniors now, the women, the seniors, they can't get to the World Cup.
Yeah.
They get to AFCON, they can't even score a goal.
And it reminds me, around 2010,
Yeah.
Ghana won the World Cup under-20 tournament. The likes of Andre Ayew, Dede Ayew, the likes of Abdul Fiston, Razak.
Yeah.
But only like 3 graduated from that
To the senior level.
to the senior level.
I mean, it's quite a disconnect. Even the for women, apart from the men, the men,
Yeah.
Ourselves, we can't qualify for
We
AFCON.
can't qualify for AFCON or WAFCON because...
I mean, sorry, AFCON, yes.
Yeah, AFCON. Because you look at the gap or the lull period.
Yeah.
Is what hurts Africa most. What Nyash is saying, what can be done just to ensure that this lull period is just curbed and we just see this transition? Like, I'm looking at, you come from England. I'm looking at the likes of James Milner. Played like around 620 games in the Premiership.
Yeah.
From his time at Leeds,
Crazy
West Ham,
numbers.
and all those sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the likes of Jordan Henderson, the likes of Jordan Pickford. These are players who played through the age groups to the national team.
Yeah.
Look at the current England setup. The current players, they both played in the under 17s, under 20s. They started from the junior levels,
Yeah.
including the likes of Jed Spence.
Yeah.
What
And
can,
Spain as well. Another perfect example.
Look at Spain, they just won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like of Ferran Torres, they all graduated from the youth levels all through
to the senior level.
to the senior levels.
And they have played well as well.
Yeah.
There's no disconnect.
In the English FA, probably 20 years ago now, Dan Ashworth, who was with Manchester United and Newcastle,
Yeah.
was recruited into the FA, and his role was to create a DNA. He researched all around Europe, put together what he felt was the best DNA, and it was basically to create technically proficient players who were dominant in 1v1 duels. And that has actually come through. So your Phil Fodens, your Cole Palmers, they are a product of the England DNA. My frustration was after 20 years of working and coaches being educated to work in that manner and develop this type of player, this year's World Cup selection, we didn't go for technicians. We went for the athlete. We went for the Jed Spence, who had a fantastic tournament.
Yep.
But because he could play right back, left back, he was athletic. We went for the power and the athleticism ahead of the technical.
Yeah, a bit of it.
The Fodens,
Yeah.
the Palmers,
Yeah.
the Jack Grealishes
Yeah.
as well. They were ignored.
Yeah.
So as a coach who's been involved in this English DNA, it was frustrating a little bit to see that our 20 years of work can be undone by whoever the leader at the time is and his beliefs.
Yeah.
If he could pick his squad again, would he pick a different squad? I think he was worried about temperature and climate.
Yeah.
But most of the games were indoor. So I think there was room for Cole Palmer and potentially Foden, because they are the 1v1 technicians are required. 90% of our opposition when England play do a low block. And you listen to interviews when we struggled against any team, it's hard playing against 11 men behind the ball.
Yeah.
So actually, in my head, it's like, well, if we know how the opposition are going to play against us,
Yeah, I'm going to plan.
surely we got a head start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why not create players who can play against a block?
Yeah.
And they are your technicians who can beat a man 1v1. So it's frustrating with selection. But I'm more frustrated that we'd, as coaches within the English FA, had bought into the DNA.
Yeah.
And then in our pinnacle, in our prime, when we had a real chance this year, we didn't select the technicians. And that was frustrating for me.
Who do you think is the most technically gifted player in England right now, in your opinion?
There's an abundance, and I think there's a lot of people who are of the same level of ability. What differentiates a player is mindset. They might be the most Ravel Morrison. Do you remember Ravel Morrison, Man United?
Yeah.
There's a famous interview. Paul Scholes was asked, "Who is the best player you've ever played with?" And he said, "In training, Ravel Morrison was the best player I'd ever played with." And that's Paul Scholes in a golden generation of Man United in England.
Yeah.
Yes.
What Ravel Morrison didn't have was the mindset to drive. So I believe they're all very good technicians. They're all extremely good players. But what differentiates between creating champions is that mentality. I think Jude has that mentality.
Jude
Yeah.
Bellingham.
And I think that is from his parents. His father played 700 non-league games.
Yeah.
And he was a policeman as well.
Yeah.
His mum was an athlete, and the combination
that's
of them
a good
two together
combination, yeah.
was.
Oh.
And you create Jude was I've watched Jude Bellingham since he was 11 years old, and Job was talked to Jude. We all knew about Jude. Then Job arrived. It's like, Job's going to be better than Jude.
Yeah.
But just to see them develop, it's been a fantastic journey. But what I really like Jude. Jude's grown up. His interviews I thought were fantastic this time round.
Yeah.
He's going to carry England for the next 5 to 10 years, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm looking at True Talents Academy, or Talents of Africa. 37 players in the US and European scholarships. How important is this in developing talent and, of course, shaping the kids for the future?
This goes with similar to what we said about visas. Now, I would love to. I think I've got 2 or 3 players in the group of 50 that we've got right now that I would love to take to England and just go and trial at clubs for them to get an idea.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy. So if we try to just take them as young footballers without international credentials, without playing in major tournaments, they struggle to get visas. The academics there's so many barriers to a Kenyan's journey compared to an English journey. We have 92 league clubs, all with academies. We are there, they're there. there's so many different walls to go over, and the visa is the one. I know the Kenyan can access Eastern Europe, Slovenia, Kosovo.
Yeah.
I know Ghana send the Right to Dream Academy, send them generally to the Scandinavian route.
Yeah.
Without education, they're not going to travel, and they won't be able to develop. So the academic mentality of the parent will help the Kenyan footballer because they will have the prerequisite qualifications to be able to get to the next stage.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the America route is amazing. Right now, in America, in the last 2 years, it's changed. They've always offered scholarships, but it's like an academic scholarship for 40%, and then your sport ability, another 40%. So the parent only has to cover 20% of the overall figure.
Okay.
If you look at the great basketball teams in college, LeBron James, and there's obviously they hunt for them. These colleges want them, and there's underhand things going on in the past. So now the NCAA colleges have said, no underhand brown envelopes anymore. You can now pay your college athletes. For example, I was coaching in 2024 with Real Madrid Foundation in America. I was in Pennsylvania, Penn State University, 121,000 seat stadium for their American football program. They have 14 home games a year, and it generated $7.1 billion.
What?
Just their football, their American football program.
Only, yeah.
But that not one of them players would have been paid a cent to play. So now they've relinquished this rule, and if you are a college, a sports collegiate,
Yes.
if you're in the sports, you can now be paid. So you not only just get your scholarship,
Yes.
you get the opportunity to be paid a salary to be at college and represent the college that you're playing with. So now for a Kenyan young man or girl, because we've got 6 girls out in America right now, 31 boys, a couple in Scandinavia, a couple in Poland, and the rest in America. If they're in the sports program within that college, they're entitled to be paid now.
Yeah.
And in my head, that's a professional athlete. So
Yes.
have you
I mean,
made it?
they're
That's
getting
professional
paid.
sport.
Yeah.
So for me, that is the route. The English university route, yes, the education will be strong, but the sports at universities is more of a hobby and a social culture.
Yeah.
And I believe the aim should be get your education up to that A-level route, get your 3 A-levels, which is what we can offer at True Talents now, and use that to get to America and become a paid athlete.
Yeah. I mean, when children come to TTA, what is the one trait that you look at first of all? Maybe prima facie, and you're like, that's a green flag of a child who can actually become a pro.
Just the ones who maybe turn up early, the ones that are there, all in their kit, proud, coming with a smile on their face, excited to be there. Because sport is meant to be fun, isn't it? Sport is about
It's
fun.
mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mental.
And let's not forget why we do it. It's a hobby that we love and we want to enjoy. And the second you stop enjoying your hobby, you may as well stop playing.
Yes.
So I just love that pre-session where you can see that kid is just
Excited
like
to be
Christmas
there.
Day. It's like
Yeah.
I'm ready to
Can't
go.
wait.
And then when they just let go, it's talent. Like I said, up to that under 11 age group, there is the base level of talent in this country is insane.
Yeah.
And now it's about. That's a great foundation, right?
Yeah.
Now it's about the next 5 years from under 11 to under 17, matching. Well, we've got a head start because of that natural talent. It's now about purposeful practice, getting your hours in.
Yeah.
And our academy train Tuesday, so under 11s, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And that's what they've been doing through all the school holidays.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad amount of hours. But the only reason we can do that is because Kimmy and his family have invested. Kimmy's a Kenyan man. He went to college in America, came back when he was 24, played a bit of semi-pro football over there, won a national championship, and has come back with this dream of aspiration of giving other Kenyan people the opportunity that he had.
Yeah.
What the hard thing is, if you're trying to set your own academy up, it's the same in England as well. First of all, you have to get a facility. That then takes 50% of your profit. And then when you get to 59 minutes, the caretaker will come onto that field and go, next
Time is
group
up.
are on.
Yeah.
So there's no extra time. But now we've got our facility, it's our time. So as long as the coaches want to be out, the kids will stay out.
Yeah.
So now we are looking at adding to that 10,000 hours and purposeful practice. And even the residential boys now, I've created individual learning plans for each of the residential boys to say, right, when you're not here, when I'm not, when it's your time, go out and work on these. I don't like to call them weaknesses.
Yeah.
They're areas of improvement.
Yes.
If there's a centre-back, we have got a centre-back who needs to use his left foot more.
Yeah.
And if you can't pass with your left foot, you can't tackle or block either.
Yeah.
If you learn to pass, you suddenly then learn how to tackle with your left
Yeah.
foot. And that creates a player. So I've got one boy now, he's just doing all left footwork for an hour every night. And if you think he does an hour every night, 5 days a week, that's 5 hours. In the next month, he's done 20 to 25 hours on his weak foot.
Mm-hmm.
So because we've got the facility,
Yeah.
we're not governed by time. No one's going to kick you off that facility if you're actually actively training and training with a purpose. The only time you get kicked off if they're messing around and just trying to lash balls into the goal. If they're training with a purpose, stay out until it's dark.
Yeah.
And that's what the opportunity they've got.
Yeah.
So it's all about time and purposeful practice.
Is it possible for you to assess the mental resilience of those young talents? Because you mentioned about the mental resilience that makes footballers to get to other levels.
At the next level.
Yeah.
When I was scouting in England, it was like I would go and watch players, and that's the hardest thing to measure because all you're seeing is that young man on the field. The only time you could probably assess his mentality would be how does he react to a mistake?
Okay.
Does his body language change?
It's
And
not, it's not all
only
about the
sig-
talent.
That's the only signal we get in regard to mental resilience. With the time we've got within True Talents now, we can gauge on who is the strong one. And that way, coaches will work differently.
Okay.
So with Coach Ken, I've been working with Coach Ken for 5 weeks now. It's like a good cop, bad cop.
Okay.
And he will pop there and I'll have a whisper and we're like clutching an accelerator in a car.
Yeah.
And we're
See the
working
response.
together. And sometimes I'm the bad cop and Ken will soften the blow as well. But if we're not telling them the wrong things they're doing, whether it's how they're behaving or how they're prepared, or for example, the other week we were doing a pre-match meeting. And bless him, the player I'm talking about he'd never been in an analysis pre-match thing before.
Okay.
My main focus was working with the centre forward to press and cut off one pass between both centre halves. And arc you run and just cut off one pass. And if you don't do that, our counter press is not there. It starts with the number 9.
Yeah.
I look round. He was in the meeting at the beginning. I look round. He's not there.
As the meeting is going on.
Interesting.
He went and got treatment with the physio, apparently.
Without informing.
Yeah. So we had to deal with him in a way and learn his consequences now.
Yeah.
Another boy, it was half time, wanted to ring his father to say he'd been brought off at half time. I love the kid who was doing it. I brought him in. You know I love you, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I have to treat you exactly the same way I was going to do it. So
The
this
the
was
rest
the
of
World
the
Cup
team.
final.
Oh,
Yeah.
This
yes.
is the World Cup final.
We need to
you
watch that.
see
Yeah.
someone go and walk to the corner flag
Yeah.
and make a phone call to his father? I said,
He's been
I
taken
have
off.
to reprimand. If you're not picking it up on it, it's the hardest thing as a coach because you have love for these players. That's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
But if you don't pick them up now, then bad habits will just carry on throughout.
Yeah.
So we are nipping the bad habits in the bud, generally in the first week. And that's when we're extra hard on them.
Okay.
We do a little trip on a Sunday to Village Market.
Yeah.
One of the boys didn't follow procedure. If you're going to go home, you have to get parents to write you an email, and we're aware.
Okay.
And one of the players didn't inform us that he was going to leave Village Market and go home. Coach Faith stayed at Village Market to 3 a.m. looking for the boy
3.
because it's her responsibility.
Yeah.
It's late in the night.
Day,
Yeah.
won't say the name. Next day, the player was running, and he ran the whole session. And since that day, he's been immaculate. So it's about being brave as a coach and nipping things in the bud early
Yeah.
doors, setting a standard.
Yeah.
And it's
basically.
about standard setting. Once you set that base level, it grows. And I cannot believe the progress we've had with these players in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And that proves that these guys are intelligent. They're happy to take on information and process the information.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for our tournaments next week because I'd love to have these boys for a year. Because my life would change and their life would change as well. Because honestly, incredible.
Could we be having scouts watching that?
I'd hope so. I'd hope so. You'd
Yeah.
like to think they would be there because
Yeah.
that's their job, isn't it? And I know the federation, to give them credit, do
Yeah.
employ talent spotters and scouts to identify for national teams. And I know I've got a couple of under-16s who are there or thereabouts, a couple of under-18s who can't be far away from
Yeah.
national team selection.
Yeah.
Just with how they are.
Yeah. I've been on IG or Instagram, yeah? I've seen a couple of your videos, you doing your sessions and everything. And what turns out to be, like, sometimes you look at the unique features of a player when you want them to, let's say, join your academy or do something that will impress maybe the other scouts far and wide. Height, physique, and everything. What does it take you
It's
to
sad.
look at something that you want as a scout
You're
from a
referring
player?
to the video that you saw.
Oh, yeah.
One video got 2.2 million.
Oh,
I
yes.
think that's the one.
So a boy, great kid, lovely footballer, really good communicator as well. Met his mum and dad, and I'm glad you're giving me a chance to justify.
Yeah.
Because I got jumped on.
Everyone jumped
I
on
got
you.
precious.
Yeah.
And I was trying to politely answer people back. So all the people who did comment on that 2.2 million video.
Yes.
My justification is I met both parents. They were 5'6". This boy
That's
came
shorter
in.
than me.
They were, but the boy was about 5'7", 5'8", so he was bigger than his parents, and he was a very good footballer with a great communicator. And he said he wanted to play at the top level. The average centre half in the World Cup was 6'2".
Yeah.
The average centre half in Premier League is 6'2". The average centre half in Kenyan Premier League is probably 6'3", 6'4" when you watch them. So if this boy is going to spend the next 10 years of his life devoting himself to be the best centre-half he possibly can, his ceiling it stops.
Yeah.
So my recommendation to the boy was play alternate positions because you're a good enough footballer to do it. Play fullback, play holding midfield, add more strings to your bow, because what will happen with that type of boy, and this is no disrespect to the academy he was in, I don't know where he was, they will continue to play him at centre-back because he's outstanding at centre-back. And he is the best centre-back in their team, and their team will probably win games because he's there. But for his career, if he's only going to be 5'9", it's like if it was a goalkeeper I was talking about, no one would have. They would have said, "Oh, great advice, coach."
Yeah.
I was being called a dinosaur.
But you've
Look
looked at
this
other
English
positions,
man, he doesn't know what he's on about. If it was a goalkeeper, everybody would understand.
Yeah.
But it's no different to a centre-back. You have to be 6'6", and then someone drops in. I remember the comment. It was Martinez, Man United, mic drop.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fabio Cannavaro.
Two centre backs under 6 foot.
Yeah.
So now we're not just comparing him to the whole centre halves in the whole of the world. We're saying you need to be better than Cannavaro and Martinez to make it as a professional footballer.
Bro.
How much pressure do you want to put on him now?
That's crazy standards, yes.
But the mic drop thing was like, Martinez mic drop. You've just picked one player out of all the centre halves in world football.
Yeah.
So my advice I stand by. He needs to explore new positions in order to prolong his career to get to the best he can be.
Yeah.
Because he was a fantastic footballer.
What other positions? Because I believe maybe the wing backs could work for him. How do you advise such?
I would say the easy way to do it would be go into a full-back position because he's a defensive-minded player. He was good at his passing and a good thinker, so central defensive midfield, that number 6 is the professor of the team. He's thinking. Going back to profile, profile exists for goalkeepers, centre-backs, and generally the rest of the positions. You can have a tall fullback, you can have a small fullback.
Okay.
You can have tall wingers, you can have small wingers. You can have big, strong number 9s, you can have short, sharp, snappy number 9s. So realistically, it's only goalkeepers and centre-backs is where you look at physical profile. But then you start looking at their outstanding attributes. So when we are identifying players, if you can see 2 outstanding attributes, what are they? And it could be speed, it could be 1v1 duels, it could be speed and his passing. If he demonstrates 2 outstanding attributes, then you've got a player on your hands. Because you don't have to be outstanding in every single... Look at Beckham. Look at Beckham. Beckham was the best deliverer of the ball in world football. Trent Alexander-Arnold as well, that right foot. Coaches, when coaches had Beckham in the academy, they didn't say, "Oh, we need to get your left foot as good as your right foot." They just wanted to make the right foot even better. So
they play to your strength.
And identify them strengths and make the strengths better and maintain the other stuff. Because you don't have to be outstanding in every attribute of football. It's unrealistic to think that. So that was an interesting route that Man United took with Beckham was, well, his right foot's amazing. Let's make it even better.
Up the levels for him.
Wand. So it's as a scout, you're trying to identify the outstanding attributes that player has. And at Wolves, it was if you find 2 outstanding attributes for that player at that age group, invite him in.
I also saw another story, another reel of yours on the page. You're talking about a kid who had traveled. What was it? 187 miles.
187
miles to come and join.
That's like a 2.5 hour drive.
17 years old.
17 years old.
I didn't even know the story. He just came in and said, "Coach, can I speak?" He had my heart. He broke my heart. He came in. He said, "Coach, I want to tell you my story. I told my mum I'm not coming back to the village. I'm going to make it."
Interesting.
And he got on a train or a bus, and it was 3 days of travel. He arrived. He managed to get the funds together to pay for the week or pay for the 4 weeks with us.
Mm.
But he didn't have anywhere to live, so he landed in the village, Kabuku, which is my home. I've got friends in Kabuku now,
yeah.
and they are great friends.
Yeah.
And he landed in the village, and he met people, and they said, "Just come and live with me." So he's living in the village, non-residential,
Yeah.
travelling, just walking down to us, and managed to get the funds for that period. And he's developed without a doubt. But that is another identification of character, right? If you're willing to
do
sacrifice
that.
that,
You push yourself.
I had another
Yeah.
one yesterday. This was a good one. Born in South Sudan.
Yeah.
Played football till he was 9. And this was only yesterday, he sat me down. Played football till he was 9. Had to leave South Sudan in 2016 because of war. Went to Uganda. Lived with uncle and family. Uncle and family obviously helped him with his schooling and everything else, but football was put on the back burner because school was taking priority and taking finances. He didn't play again till he was 16 when he returned to South Sudan, and it was only because a neighbour was playing in the professional league of South Sudan
So he
and
got
said, "You can
inspired,
play."
yeah.
So he's only 17 now. So realistically, this boy's been playing football a year.
Yeah.
The boy is mustard. That's an English term. He has got money in his boots. And now what we're working with is trying to find a way for it to work for him that he can stay with us for 2 years. And then he turned around yesterday and said, "Well, I did work for my uncle's design company, and I'm a really good editor."
Yeah.
So now what we will do, and Kimmy, our leader, has sort of nodded his head on this. He will now become the assistant to social media guy, and do all the editing, and then that will take money off his fee for being there. So he'll live. He'll be fed 3 times a day. He will do the BTEC, which gets into America.
Yeah.
And he's got resources around him now, and it's been made affordable that his uncle will say yes.
Yeah.
And I think I can. Well, I have said it, but I haven't named names. But some of the stories are amazing, and the stories create the player, because you find in England you find kids who have been at an academy from under 9s, and then they're now 22. They've been in that same environment for 13, 14 years. You become institutionalized. It's like if you guys, you're full of enthusiasm, but if you were here 14 years later, you'd probably be as grumpy as the boys on Talk Sport in England. So when you get a player who's got a story and had to fight to get out of his village, you've got that rawness inside, and that's something you can't coach.
Yeah.
They've either got that desire or they haven't,
don't.
and personal circumstance actually creates that.
Yeah. True that. Or if someone wants to get a kid to come to TTA campus, where do they do that, and why?
And how?
And how?
On how every child is allowed a free demo day. So you go on the website, register your details, give your children's name, age, whatever, and they get a free demo day.
Yes.
They come and experience the facility. The best thing we've got is when people arrive at the facility, they're sold already before they've kicked the ball.
Okay.
You need to come along, boys, because it's stunning. It's something Kenya should be
When
proud
can we
of.
do that?
Whenever you wish. I'm here till the 24th. So
Of this month?
now and the 24th, or back in November, December, we could do a feature or something down there.
Okay.
So there's the opportunity to have a free demo day for all the age groups. My role is in 6-week blocks 3 times a year. I've got 2 young children at home, Jack and Martha, and I have to be a good dad first, but they allow me to have this short period in Kenya every 3 months. So I will be back working in a 6-week period, November, December, which will be the elite camp again.
Okay.
Which will be that intensive 6-week program with numerous games playing against adult opposition. But on an every day, the junior academy is running. Coach Dexter has created the junior academy. I think it's up to nearly 100 students now. Under 11s, under 9s, under 11s, under 13s, under 15s. And then we've got Coach Sean, who does the PDP, which we call the Professional Development Pathway, which are 20-year-old. And there's some players in there.
Yeah.
One of the boys has just signed professionally in Poland, actually. He's had 2 years.
Where? Krakow?
I don't know what. I don't even know where. He went to Poland initially with education because that went through the door, and then he's had 2 years to prove himself, and he's just signed.
Okay.
We've had a boy called Mandela go to Canada. Aaron has just gone to Sweden. So they're in good places, and that's because of Coach Sean going through PDP. And then the girls' program is flourishing.
It's flourishing, yeah.
So
and you look at Kenyan football path. The girl child has a more realistic chance of making it to the global scene.
I think there's less. I think Kenyan people are more liberal, so there's no stigma around a girl playing football. It's the norm, right? so there's no stigma around it. So there's
Yeah.
no battle for there's no strong, like, different, the battle is the same if you're boy or girl.
Okay.
The barriers are still the same. Whereas in England, they've been fighting and passionately fighting for almost equal rights within football because they have been discriminated against in England. But I don't think there's discrimination against if you're a girl footballer. For example, if you
Yeah.
met a girl who's 17 years old and she said, I play full-time football, your eyes wouldn't light up. You know,
Yeah.
oh, you play football, great. It's
Come
just
in.
because you're a female.
Yeah, get in, yeah.
Whereas in England, there's still that little stigma of, oh, you're a girl, but you play football.
That's wow.
That isn't there here. And that's what gives the girls more opportunity. So out of the 37, 6 girls are in America.
Oh, wow.
But we've got one girl who plays in England and scored against Liverpool under
Oh,
21s. Ken has done
That's
a great
hurting.
job with these
That's
girls.
hurting.
Good news.
So what we do as well,
Oh.
so we combine there's 8 to 10 girls who train full time, and we put them in our games under 19s. And if the girl isn't standing out, she's having a good game. Does that make sense?
If she's not standing out.
Uh-huh.
Because you would have this perception of they might make mistakes. Or so
What do we do?
if you don't notice there's a girl in the team, they're having a good game.
Oh, okay.
Do you see,
I get it. I get it.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we have, I won't name names, but there's 2 girls who've been playing religiously in every game that we've played, and we've played 14 games in 6 weeks, and we have an internal El Clasico, Barcelona, Madrid. They're in the Madrid team. They come out and they play, and they more than hold their own. One of the girls who plays centre back dominates. She's 5'7". She doesn't put a foot wrong. Her passing is exceptional, honestly. And so, yeah, that's testament to Coach Ken and the attitude of these girls that. We just want more girls in the programme, I think. And the younger age groups, in the under-11s, there's 3 out of 12 are girls. They're fantastic. You know what? I'll be honest. A girl is so much easier to coach.
Oh, than the boy?
Because there's almost less opinion. When you say to the girl, do it this way because of this, and they go,
They snap it.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas the boy will go, well, why? You know,
I can do
he
this
will
way.
go. He will question himself 5 times, question you a couple of times, and then think, oh, you were right in the first
Yeah.
place. Where a girl is just
Straight away.
Instant.
and it's the same in England actually. You've got coaching girls back home is a similar thing because they in England they're proving a point. They want to stand up and they want to match it.
Yeah.
I do have a controversial opinion on women's
Yeah.
football.
Okay.
And you've talked about Kahao Pride. I know
Yeah,
you,
talk
you,
about
you've,
that.
you've gone through the program. You've talked to Matthias. You've talked to Hayes. What do you feel about, let's say, the whole setup? First of all, your opinion about Kahao Pride, how they're conducting themselves, and then the use of social media to monetize whatever we do in developing football.
Well, for one, when you look at the Instagram and the socials, they're very clear about their finances.
Yeah.
They show how
An open
much
book.
the nutrition is. And I did when they got the sponsorship, they got some bad press. But they're almost a victim of their own success.
Yeah.
Because that social media is... I was following Kahara Pride before I was even in Kenya. It just popped up as like, oh, this is a story.
Yeah.
And what we've got to remember, and the members of the team as well, and the families of the team, they're storytelling. They're creating a story.
Yes.
And it's an amazing story. So let's not underestimate the power of storytelling, but they're changing their lives as well. These guys have been refugees from, I'm right in saying this, refugees from around the area.
They've been brought into a system and housed together.
And that's where they're at. And I cannot complain about it. Mateus put his heart and soul into it to a point that he was 24/7. And maybe his time could have been doubled here if he did 12/7 instead of 24/7. He was devoted and he was exhausted from it. But a really humble, good man. And they've got the right intention. I genuinely believe they've got the right intention. And just because they tell the story right and it looks fantastic in the social media, people then become the green-eyed monster and envy takes place.
Yeah.
I think it's transparent. I think it's an inspirational thing that they're doing. And if you are envious of it, do it yourselves.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Take
You can ape that.
take the lead.
Yeah.
One thing they probably do need to improve is if that Kahara Pride brand now, that academy should have hundreds because of the exposure that they're getting. They invited me along to their final game at, I'm going to say it wrong, Nahairo Stadium.
Yeah.
Went to that game. I was treated really well. Got to meet people.
That was again Kakuma Pride.
Yes,
I
which
was
another
there.
team.
Yeah.
Were you there?
Yeah.
So the other team in refugees.
Yes.
Yeah. There was some good players in that team.
Oh, yeah.
By the way. I'm sure
And
they
they
will
beat
sign
Kahao
a few.
Pride. I was doing the
Two,
commentary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you look at such, like, there's so much raw talent in this country.
Yeah, raw is the word.
that
yeah.
just maybe goes to rot or never tapped? How does it tell
Nurtured.
you about, or nurtured? How does it tell you as a scout? Like, can we hack?
It's about getting them early, isn't it? If I brought youth academy scouts across here and they were trying to recruit from under 11, under 10, under 9, they'd be like, oh my god, their pen wouldn't stop. They'd run out of ink. So it's filling that gap. And yes, academics is important for a child's life. We know this, but it's just changing the perception of the Kenyan person to say,
Yeah.
they can be in full-time football and still get their GCSEs and still get their A levels.
Yeah.
And it's about parent education, understanding. We said it briefly earlier. Look at what football offers. If it's not professional football, I'm 45 years old. I still want to be a professional footballer.
If you could,
right?
yeah.
It's a dream,
Yeah.
right? But I've had a life in football for coaching since I was 16 years old. So if you look at the job roles, it could be commentary.
Yeah.
It could be social media. Could be strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
Could be a physiotherapist. Could be a coach. Could be a teacher within. And what we have got is almost a talent base of young people who want to create careers in football. It could even be groundsmen.
Yeah.
As well.
Like there is
There are many
there's
opportunities.
careers in
Yeah,
the game.
careers
in
But
the
I
game.
think people just think as it in the country as it's football and what.
That's it.
You're, what if
Play
you
or
make
not
it?
play.
If you don't make it, you can make a career in the game because
Yeah.
you've got the love
Yes.
for the game.
For the game, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the website for True Talents if someone wants to take part in...
TrueTalentsOfAfrica.org.
Okay.
You're testing me now. I did quite well to know that, but it's definitely .org.
Yeah, .org.
Yeah.
So you get all the details, the contacts
Yeah,
there, the programs that you guys offer.
The social medias, again, True Talents of Africa. There's been a great one released today. Abe, our social media guy, does a fantastic job.
Okay.
There's a day in the life, and he's done it as a slideshow. So it's like a 15-second video, 7:15 lunch, breakfast.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a nice 14 slideshow of the day. It's
Yeah.
a really well put together.
Yeah.
It's because it's hard on Instagram sometimes to really get the point across. So he's done each individual slide for each individual time slot of the day. But this was the first time that we've actively had 34 residential students, and we have seen it. And me and Coach Ken we couldn't even think of the progress they've made in 6. And it's not just the coaching, it's the environment, it's the culture we're creating,
Yeah.
it's the diet. We've got our own kitchen, the kids get fed, we've got our own kitchen on site.
Yeah.
One of the
With a
boys,
chef and everything.
the whole lot, and the chefs are working as harder than the coaches. They're cooking 3 times a day, so they probably start at 7, they finish at 9.
Yeah.
Our striker, I won't name his name, but he's lost 5 kilos in 4 weeks.
Ooh,
Came in at
damn.
70 and now he's 65.
I need that
Oh,
diet.
goddamn. Yeah,
I need that diet to lose
Yeah,
some,
no, it's
some
not.
pounds.
It's about the running around as well.
Yeah.
It's the 3 hours a day.
And talking about that, how difficult is it to just make sure that the setup is okay for all these kids and ensure that they are strictly following what you guys have laid down as rules and regulations?
Kimmy's done his homework, and compared to what he got, the Americans are brilliant at it, right? These colleges. If you look at the World Cup, many teams didn't hire out MLS teams' grounds. They went to the best universities and the facilities. So they've got.
There they do in athletics.
They've got
Yeah.
gym, they've got purpose-built gyms, they've got indoor running, they've got indoor pitches, they've got outdoor pitch. So that is where what Kimmy's environment was when he was playing in America. And he's obviously been downloading little bits. I want that when I have my academy. I want that. And the fact that these boys are being fed 3 times a day, proper Swahili food, spinach. I love a Rolex. Rolex is my favourite thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a couple of sausages. I chuck my sausages in there as well. But the diet is there. And that's one thing is hard. Especially as a young person.
Yeah.
Eating at the right time is key.
Yes.
The right time of day.
What do you mean at the right time?
Well, at the right time of day. Because if you eat, let's say you eat and then you sleep. Well, that is sitting in you, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Your metabolism.
Like me and Nyash will have to eat at 1 a.m.
That's
I
the
don't
worst.
do that.
The worst time to eat is 10 o'clock at night and you go to bed at 10:30. Well, that food is sitting there for 8 hours until you wake up the next day.
Yeah.
So it's about timing of eating is key. And even if you eat regular at the regular time, you will see weight drop off you. And I'm no dietitian, and my
But
mum
you're
my
just
mum will
saying
be
what it
laughing
is,
at me.
yeah.
I'm giving
Yeah.
dietary advice, but I've just seen it with my own eyes that our centre forward was 70 kilos 4 weeks ago. He's now 65.
Yeah, eating at
Just
the right
by
time.
eating at the right time, the right things. 45 minutes after exercise, get your protein back in, get your carbohydrates back in.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Kenyan diet itself, and I always, it makes me smile, right? It's all organic.
Yes.
It's organic, yeah.
I want to tell you about the story about Dennis.
Mm.
Dennis is the cow farmer in Kibiku.
Okay.
He has 33 cows.
Uh-huh.
One day, Dennis always spoke to me. He's a mountain Maasai.
Yeah,
He's
Maasai.
Maasai heritage.
Yes.
He always spoke to me as Dennis. And he had 33 cows. And one day, a young boy decided to steal one of his cows. So then Dennis was down to 32 cows,
Oh.
right?
Uh-huh.
So he takes the 32 down to the dam to have the water into the Tigoni Dam.
Yeah.
And he leaves his other farm with them, and he goes into the village. And this is no word or lie. He walks through the village and he starts shouting the cow's name.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
And the cow moved back.
Uh-huh.
And join the rest of
And
the
he
herd.
found the cow in
Yeah.
the front room of someone's house, which this teenage boy had stolen the cow. but the next day he slaughtered that cow because he was a naughty cow. But it's organic. It's there. And because there's
It's
no
the DNA.
there's no refrigeration.
Yeah.
So you have to eat what is there on the day.
Straight away.
And the next day, which is beneficial because in England we just live off frozen, processed food that's easy to cook.
Mm.
Whereas we're eating fresh rice, spinach, mixed veg.
They're all
Straight from the garden.
processed.
And exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the diet isn't anything that the athlete needs to worry about because
Mm-hmm.
it's actually there.
Yeah.
And that might help with the genetics and the mobility at that younger age. But the Kenyan diet is fantastic.
It's fantastic. What point in time should we be eating before we sleep? Greg and I.
I
so
think
that-
you need 2 hours before.
So we should eat in between the show because
Yeah,
our show
yeah.
ends at midnight.
Yeah.
But there you go. So what would you want? A slice of pizza on the way home and then you'll go and sleep. So you need
Ah.
to eat before the show. Or I use something called, I don't know if I can promote the brand, something called Huel.
Eh?
Which is basically, have a look at Huel.
Mm.
Huel is a full meal with
Yeah.
all the carbohydrates you need in a water-based drink.
Ah.
So
Oh.
the gym boys who don't want to put on weight by carrying. There's one guy who ran the ultra marathon, which was 256 miles,
Mm.
on Huel.
That's a drink.
It's just it's a scientist base, like a milkshake,
Okay.
which
Uh-huh.
has all the nutritional value of
Yeah.
meals for an athlete. Pour water in, shake it, drink it, and you've got every single nutrient you need.
Damn.
There's
Have you found
somebody-
it here in Kenya?
No, I brought some with me.
Okay.
I brought some with me. So that's when you're busy, it's like that's the easy one.
Can
Oh, that's
can we like know the formula?
I can
Please,
send
that
you-
will be
I'll
done
send you a
offline.
picture on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, please.
I'll send you a picture
We'd
of that.
love to
I
see
think
that.
I need that.
Yeah, because I mean, here most of us, I mean, we eat 1 hour to sleeping or even 30
But
minutes.
I'll tell you who it was who told me that. It was a chap called Stephen Presley. He used to play for Coventry City, and he's a football manager himself. He said, Dan, I have my big meal at lunchtime and I have my lunch at dinner time. So big meal at 1 and a smaller meal at 6.
Yeah.
He says, and I never eat 2 hours before I go to sleep because you're not doing anything to
Yes.
get rid of that. It's just going to sit. And that's
Yeah.
where you get that rubber ring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, on the
Donut.
sides.
Yeah.
Which I haven't got my donut right now, but I know within 2 months of being back home, eating processed food again, that will reappear.
Get back in
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned earlier on about Coventry.
Oh, yes. This is
Cyber
interesting.
Army.
Yes.
Let me adjust my seat.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
You are
Yeah.
a Coventry City fan. I mean, you've worked there before.
Yeah.
Coventry kickstart their season next week, a time like now.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe an hour from now.
Next
Yeah.
Friday.
Next week.
We will be giving you the lineups.
Exactly. Against the defending champions.
Yes.
They are the champions of the championship against the Premier League champions. Lampard.
Do you know we've got the second game?
Who is that?
Man City.
Man City
Oh,
away,
God.
second game.
You are being set up.
But I think it might be the best time to play both. Maresca, new manager. Both squads have been at the World Cup throughout. I think we only had 4 players at the World Cup. We've signed 5 players. Here's one for you. I think we spent £86.2 million in the
Only?
transfer window.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Which is, listen, that is more than we've spent in our whole club's history.
wait a minute.
In one window.
In one
And we were
minute.
120 odd years old.
In one window, you splash 86 million.
But we
in
still
their
but
entire 128 years.
we spent more in this last 4 weeks
Wow, okay.
than we have.
Yeah.
So, but we've now, there must be, we get 160 million for being promoted. But then it's this financial fair play. We own our own stadium, which is also a music venue and an exhibition hall. We've even got a casino and
Oh,
a
damn.
hotel in our ground.
Okay.
Which is the casinos are Grosvenor Casino. They
Yeah.
hire that. So we've got a lot of different revenues. And financial fair play it's a strange world, and I don't know enough about it. But because of our different revenue streams, it means that we can spend our 3.5 times our revenue.
Okay.
We can spend more of.
Yeah.
But we're rumoured to be going after another 5 players, which is going to add up to 92.
Mhm.
So we could be spending 180 million in this window.
Jesus. Do you feel like you are well set up for this coming season? And also, Lampard has been in the Premier League before. He has been fired, so basically you can say he has failed.
There's no
He's
manager
not
hasn't
been fired
anymore.
once.
He's only been fired, yeah.
A couple of times.
He had Chelsea when
It was
He
Chelsea.
had
who else?
Chelsea when they had the
Everton.
transfer embargo.
Everton.
And he developed
Yeah.
the Mason Mount. He was at Derby County
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
But then he went in at Chelsea with a transfer embargo and developed a lot of the young kids. Abrahams, Mason Mount, Tomori,
Yeah.
Loftus-Cheek.
Yes.
Now, rumours are Loftus-Cheek and Tomori were at AC Milan. They may
Want to come back?
to the Premier League, and we are in with a shout
Interested,
in
yeah.
getting both of them.
Oh, damn.
Which will then put us in a
In
good
a,
Right,
place.
in a
different
good
pedestal
position,
together.
yeah.
There's a boy who's classed as the new Lukaku who plays for Fenerbahce, rumoured today. So we're going to spend another 50, 60, 70 million.
We have
That
seen
will
teams-
break the bank too, the 100 million plus,
Yeah,
Yeah.
easily, if you do it.
if you do it.
It
Yeah.
won't bust us because you get 160 for being promoted. We've sold every season ticket. We've now, the first time in our history, having a waiting list on season tickets.
Damn.
For example, we've just signed a player back called Gus Hamer.
Yeah.
Sheffield United.
Yes.
We signed Gus Hamer for £1 million 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Gus Hamer had 3 seasons with us. He became a legend with
the
us.
club.
He then signed for Sheffield United for 15 million.
That's a huge.
Right.
Yeah.
We've just signed him back for 6 million.
No way.
So we have bought the player twice, and we are still 7 million in profit.
Yeah.
That is, we've got a shrewd chairman in Doug King. He's a businessman, and he bought the club 3 years ago. We were in League Two, by the way, 6 years ago.
I know.
Oh,
6
damn.
years ago, we were in League Two going bust.
Yeah.
And we've played at Wembley, and the fans have been great. We've played at Wembley 5 times in the last 6 years.
Yes.
Probably the one you'd remember. We lost to Luton in the playoff final.
Yep.
You might remember the FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
3-0 down against Manchester United.
Exactly.
Came back to 3-3.
3-3.
Yeah.
And we had a VAR goal ruled out, which
Yeah.
would have made us 4-3, and we lost on
4-3.
penalties. That day, when we scored the fourth goal, every single Man United fan left the stadium, and they didn't even watch the penalty
Distraught.
shootout. They thought they'd lost the game because it was a
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
And on that, what happened? Yes, now, with VAR, the offside line is unarguable. That is you can see if they're offside or not. What isn't measured is the actual split second the ball leaves the foot.
Of the passer.
And when he made this pass, Callum O'Hare it was, who he lifted the pass and sort of like did a flick over the defender to set. So the offside line is factual,
Yes.
but the striking of the ball is an opinion. And I've worked with the referees with VAR for 6 years at St George's Park in tournaments. So I created tournaments for football education programs under 18s to stay at St George's Park. We'd play in a tournament, and it gave the referees the opportunity to practice with VAR.
Yeah.
And what happens when a player plays a through ball and getting a player in on goal, the linesman on the mic will go, now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the referee hears the now.
Yeah.
So if that was at Wembley, he says now, that's probably a split second longer for the referee to hear it, for then the referee to blow his whistle to say it was offside.
Yeah. Fine
And
margins.
the big thing was, it was either Man City, Man United in the final,
Yeah.
or Man City, Coventry City. Now, what's going to sell more revenue around the world?
I mean, it has to be Man United.
That's a bit of conspiracy.
without
there,
saying.
but-
I mean, I've seen also teams getting promoted from Championship. They
Yeah.
come to the Premier League, and almost sometimes all of them go back.
Go back.
Well, Sunderland were the biggest surprise last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that
were
was
awful.
an exception.
They were awful in the Championship. We beat them twice.
Yeah.
But they beat us in the playoff semi-final again. They were superb. But I think what Coventry have got at the minute is momentum. We stormed the Championship. We've got a winning mentality amongst a really tight-knit group of players. And we talk about character and that sort of thing. We have got a group of boys who want to be at Coventry City.
Okay.
They want to be there. And we cannot underestimate that value of a momentum and a win mentality. And finally, we've got 32,000 people in that stadium every week
Okay.
who are supporting them win or lose.
Yeah.
We've got a great bunch of fans.
So,
We're really excited. For example, the championship winning parade,
Yeah.
120,000 people attended. The streets were full, and 70,000 people were at an outdoor Memorial Park gig. We had a concert. We live and die in these towns, which we spoke about the song earlier. The band The Enemy, a chap called Tom Grennan, who's a singer. He's an adopted Coventry City fan, and we had our own pop concert, which
Yeah.
my children, and my family, we went to. Just golden moments, and we're creating memories every year.
yeah. So basically, that's why you think you might not be one of those teams that go back.
The 12th man is going to be the difference.
It's got to be the difference for you.
Yeah.
All right. As a scout, before we let you go, by the way, there's a question that we have, and
Yeah.
I'm going to let Greg. We always have a segment where
Perfect.
the guest answers a question posed by the previous guest, and then you also ask a question to the next guest. Before Greg tells you that question, who do you think is going to win the Premier League next season, and why do you think it's Arsenal defending it?
Oh, please.
I think the surprise package, I don't know if they're going to win it. The surprise package will be Man United. I think
Oh, yeah?
Carrick, if you look at the record Carrick had towards the end of the season, they
Yeah.
were impeccable. Arsenal really haven't been in the market for players, so they've got that steady. They've got Bruno Guimaraes, was probably the big signing.
Yeah.
Man City under the new manager could be a bit of a transition season, so it's
Yeah.
going to be between Arsenal,
And Man United?
Man United. I think Villa were going to struggle because they're in the Champions League and haven't really added to their squad. It could be someone who's not in any European competition who might be
Not
the
Liverpool?
secret.
Chelsea Spurs?
Liverpool with a new manager, you're going to give him a year of transition.
Yeah,
aren't you?
transition.
And they weren't great last week, were they?
No,
It was
they weren't.
pre-season.
Yeah.
Are they in Champions League, Liverpool?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they are.
there might be a team who's not in the Champions League. who
Chelsea?
might be that without. If you
Chelsea
just
and
think
Spurs,
rather than
'cause-
playing, you're going to play 37 games, or
So the concentration is there.
and they've got that squad. That Chelsea could be one if they're not wasting their time in Europe.
Yeah.
It's someone who's not in Europe who's just focused on that one role, which is Premier League.
That could be a problem. I mean,
So
like,
I didn't answer your question, but I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal defend it.
okay. Yeah, I'm also personally I'm looking out for Spurs as well. I think they've recruited quite well, and they have no European commitments.
Very much so.
Yeah. So
Spurs are Spurs, though, aren't they? Very
But there's always
Spursy, very Spurs.
extremely. All right, so the segment here, we get to ask you to answer the question by the guest, previous guest, and then you pose the question to the next guest. Greg, what was the question?
Yeah. We had a guest here who is a former administrator in the Football Kenya Federation. He was the former vice chairman, or you can call him a vice president for that matter. And he's been someone who's been in the football industry for quite a while, both as a player, administrator, and an investor. He asked a question. I'm sure you are now privy to the hierarchy in Kenyan football. You know of McDonald Mariga?
I'll be
Yeah.
honest, but carry on.
Yeah, he's a former Inter Milan player.
Ah,
Played,
yes.
yeah. Played
yeah.
for Real Sociedad, AFC Parma, and won the Champions League. The only from East Africa to South Africa, you only find Benny McCarthy as the next player who's ever won a Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensational stuff,
Yeah,
man.
and then we have the chairman or the president of the Football Kenya Federation. It's called Hussein Mohammed. Now there are 2.5 years in office, and the previous office was occupied by someone else. But before that, there was this guy whom we hosted here actually last night, and he said, "What if it were you, Elliott? What would you do or tell the current FKF president and his vice to do to help football in this country?"
I've probably already answered it, haven't I, in this interview? Don't keep the money at the top where it goes in. Put the money in the bottom of the game and develop from the bottom up, not from the top down.
So it starts from bottom all the way up.
It's a
Bottom.
process, and it's going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But support the coaches who have just created your under-17 women's World Cup side.
Yeah.
It's the grassroots people who've
Yeah,
so we now know that the under-15s is where the international teams start. So the federation have had them for 2 years. Well, what happened for the previous 8 years of that girl's career?
Yeah.
That's the grassroots coaches. That's who you need to be investing in
Okay.
and supporting programs. And have a look at our model. Can we combine filling that? Remember that whole Atletico Madrid
Yeah.
into under 11s we beat them. Kenya teams beat them.
Yeah.
Under 17s we didn't. Well, we need to fill that void, and I would say invest in education, invest in facilities that can host full-time education and full-time football, and create your
Yes.
Barcelona academy like what Messi went to. And you could have one in North, South, East and West Kenya. And let's look at the money that's going to be generated from AFCON next year.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm going to be in Kenya. I'm excited for it.
And witness every bit of it.
And why not put money back in? Look at the money in America. The Americans are moaning, aren't they?
Yeah.
That in order to play football, it's a minimum of $5,000 a year to play. And Landon Donovan, who was an international,
Yes.
said his mum was on $35,000 a year. She wouldn't have been able to afford it if someone hadn't have paid the funds.
Yeah.
Well, that could be eliminated now in America from the billions made from the World Cup.
Yeah.
That answers your problem.
Yes.
So here, that money made from AFCON, from the big sponsors. I know Safaricom do a bit. Safaricom do a lot of kit initiatives and foundations and that sort of thing. And I've seen a number of clubs. I was in Diani Beach and I was with Diani Tigers. That was an amazing. Can I just say about that program?
Yeah.
I was on holiday a week before I came out, and I met a Spanish girl having a coffee. I said, "What are you doing here?" She goes, "I'm a volunteer. I look after voluntary organisations, and we've got 3 programs here, which one of them is 140 women who have been victims of abuse and domestic abuse and had pregnancy and all that sort. So that was one program." And she said, "My other program is a girls' football team." I went. She goes, she said, "What are you doing here?" So I'm here as a football coach, working with True Talents of Africa, but I'm on holiday. She went, "Could you please come and visit?" Diani Tigers go around the coastal area of Diani, identify girls who are in vulnerable positions.
Yeah.
They bring them in, they house them, they train football every day. They're in the National League,
Yes.
and they house them every day. And now what they're doing, they're giving the girls jobs, hospitality. They've just done an ironing service, hairdressing service. So the girls who are in the programme are getting skills to be employable at the end of it. And that is the great thing about football.
Wow.
Football's lifeline extends, and that's changed them girls' lives.
Yeah.
And I just found that by chance. So support them projects. Safaricom sponsored their kit. Support them projects, because then them 20 people, if football saved their lives, them 20 people will then extend, and that 20 becomes 40.
Yeah.
And that 40 becomes 400. And if football has had such a positive influence on some individual's life at a grassroots level, then it's going to change.
Yeah.
Could be millions of people's lives.
Yeah. A
So-
domino effect, basically.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
But it's almost Lemmings effect. It's multiple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if I'm a coach coaching 20 kids every week, that one person is now influencing 20. Then that 20 will influence 20. And it's lemmings, right? Not one
and it
falling at a
expands.
time.
Oh, yeah.
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 So
True that.
I would say AFCON money generated sponsorship, plough it into the grassroots game, build bespoke facilities that we don't have to pay a fortune to hire them, and develop there, because that is where football's growth will come from.
True that. All right, it's been a fantastic conversation.
Brilliant.
Thank you
But-
so much. Yeah.
He hasn't
Ask a question.
posed
Sorry.
a question to the next guest. Your camera is there.
Okay. When's the next guest coming in?
It could be Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, next week, yeah.
To the next guest, as a Coventry City fan, can you predict next Friday's score? And be honest, we can lose, it's fine. But can you predict the score of Arsenal v Coventry next Friday night at
Can
9
I?
a.m., 9 p.m.?
Can
Yeah.
I? Can I?
But are you the guest? I'm sure you'll do a prediction nonetheless.
Oh yeah. And you know
It's
it's gonna
okay.
be the right one.
Arsenal winning.
No.
I mean, he said yeah.
No.
3-1. 3-1 is fine. I'll take 3-1.
I think it's gonna be a draw.
Thank God thinking is free.
My guy.
All right, thank you so much, Dan. Of course, we shall be waiting to see what happens with Coventry City. Of course, as well, truetalentsofafrica.org. Sorry, I've also been checking out your page on Instagram. You are quite vibrant over
They're
there. I'd
vibrant,
say.
yeah.
It's quite active. I like that. So if you want to know more about them, go check them out on Instagram as well. Go check them out on truetalentsofafrica.org. That's their website, and then you can get all the contacts in case you want to enroll your nephew or your niece or your son or your daughter and be part of that, which is quite fantastic. Thank you so much. Continue doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait to host you here maybe some other time when you come back.
And we want to host you at True Talents in November, December. We want
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
come for a day. Bring your boots.
Yeah.
Bring your boots.
That as well.
You've got your hoodie, so you've got your training gear
Yeah.
ready to go.
We got them.
I need a lot of training. He is better than I. By
Yeah,
far.
but if you're going to